All right, thanks, Brandon. Time now to talk to our professionals about some of the hot topics making news today. And joining us today, Blaine Fowler, host of the Blaine and Allison in the Morning Show on 96.3 WDVD.
We also have our good friend Katie Cockrell. She is a public relations specialist with Ignition Media Group. We appreciate you guys being here. And let's start with this first hot topic because this was the buzz yesterday online.
It's the buzz. We're going to be doing more about it today because it does ask the question, what are we going to do downtown to make things safer for your vehicle? We know that obviously violent crime has fallen in Detroit, but on Saturday night at one of the downtown hotspots, Deadline Detroit reporter Alan Lengel was in a group that had their car stolen after dining at Corktown. Police told them it was one of 7 vehicles that was stolen from the same area that evening. The question, do police need to do more? At some point, they knew that they had more than a couple of reports there. Did they send anybody down there? Apparently not. Or is it incumbent upon the businesses to say, you know what, we're going to get together some private security. We've got. What
are we paying our taxes for? Don't we pay taxes for police protection?
Yeah, they're giving you protection from violent crime and other things they can't address, apparently, autos.
I don't expect a restaurant to have a security guy standing out there looking for people stealing my car either. If my understanding is in the story, the guy called the police and they wouldn't come down.
Which is typically the case because there's not
they're
enough.
under-resourced,
Right,
which I think is what it comes back to. I mean, I live literally on that block or a couple blocks away on Michigan Avenue.
Anybody ever touch your car?
No, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, I shouldn't say that. But no, I have managed to maintain my car unscathed. But I mean, I certainly have an expectation of a certain amount of protection for both myself and my belongings, and I do think, you know, tax dollars go to that. But we all know the city's department is under-resourced, has been for years. I do think that, you know, to some extent, it's a shared responsibility at this point.
You mentioned a key word there, I think, and that's expectation. If you have a window broken in Birmingham on your car, any damage to it, cops come out.
Right.
Even minor stuff, cops come out. Property damage, they come out, you file a report. That's not going to happen in Detroit, but if you bring your suburban expectations into the city, and a lot of people are, then we need to either meet those expectations or inform them that they got to amend them a little.
Yeah.
Right, because it's going to hurt their businesses. I mean, people are going to be less likely to come downtown and spend their money if they don't think their vehicle's safe for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
It would seem like at least in this middle period until we do get more resources, something needs to be done, even though you said it's not the restaurant's responsibility.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but that's
this
reality.
Is the state of affairs.
And we should point out, they do have secured lots where Alan and his friends were going, but those secured lots were all full, and that's why he had to park.
Which is really good news. It means we've got great restaurants and people are coming to visit them. You know?
I've gone downtown a million times and just parked. I throw the anchor out wherever, right?
Right.
Nothing's ever happened. So it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird that happened that much that night.
On a Saturday
but also, I mean,
that 72 Fairlane you're driving, they're
maybe that's what it is.
Really? You think that's it?
All right, next topic. Saturday Night Live is being criticized today for a joke that may have gone too far. It shows guest host Dakota Johnson in an ad parodying the Nissan Super Bowl ad you might have seen where a dad drops his daughter off at the airport to go join the Army. Take a look at the SNL skit that aired on Saturday where she's actually leaving to join ISIS.
Looks like your ride's here. You be careful, okay?
Dad, it's just ISIS.
Now, some say the parody is funny and speaks to a huge problem right now. Others say it is in bad taste. Let's start with you, Katie.
I mean, I think, you know, if you're somebody, if you're a family who's been more affected by these more recent kind of, you know, brutal beheadings and that, you're probably not going to take this lightly.
Right.
But it is SNL. Like, sketch comedy is what they do. It's parody. I think, I mean, you know, when I watch it, I sign up for the fact that I might be made uncomfortable by 1 or 2 of the jokes made in the course of an hour. I think you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt.
It is
given
aired
the context.
late night television.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on at midnight or 11:30.
Exactly. You know, I mean,
what do you think, Blaine?
You know, it's funny because when I watched it, I don't know if other people do this. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I did the whole laugh and then like,
then you feel bad.
Then I corrected myself.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Blaine, you're bad.
But that's, I mean, what comedy, it's an outlet for, you know.
And that's what they're supposed to do, too, on SNL. They're supposed to push the envelope a little bit and test our tastes, I guess, you know?
So you're okay with it?
Is it their job to make us uncomfortable to make a point?
I think it's their job to kind of use comedy as a way to shed light on issues that are, sometimes more important and more troubling than others, this being one of them. And so,
Right.
yes, I think to some
It
extent.
has us talking. I mean, obviously, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, Star Trek's William Shatner really catching it big time on social media for skipping the funeral for his friend and co-star Leonard Nimoy this weekend. Nimoy died at the age of 83, and it sparked a lot of backlash against Shatner, who was called Captain Jerk by the folks at the New York Daily News. That was the headline. He said, look, I've got a prior commitment to the Red Cross down in Florida. I don't want to break my commitment. The question, should he have, or would his friend Leonard have said, hey, that's more important than coming to my funeral?
Spock would have said it's not logical to grieve, but to take care of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. So he would have been
showing off your Spock.
I'm a
very good at
major
that.
Trekkie. I can do this.
Are you a Trekkie, though?
Oh, huge.
Okay,
huge.
so then no, but this gives us good perspective because we're not.
No, because that's what Spock would say.
Right.
Spock actually said that.
But I mean, do you think fans would also react that
I
way?
think real fans like me are reacting the way I'm reacting. I think most of us who are huge Star Trek fans and know the history between Shatner and Nimoy as friends. Those guys were really close. My grandfather ran a funeral home. And my grandpa used to say, funerals aren't for the dead, but for the living.
They are, yeah.
And if William Shatner grieves by going on Twitter and doing a Twitter tribute, which he did later in the day on Sunday, then that's how he grieves.
I agree. I don't think it's our place to judge how, we grieve our friends. I think grief manifests itself in different ways. However, from a PR standpoint, because this is what I do, just go to the funeral. Like, the Red Cross will understand if you send a representative.
They understand emergencies?
They understand
hope, right?
emergencies.
But is there a vice flip-flop? Then does he get slammed for not helping people who are in need?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Could that be a PR thing?
He loses either way, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
I mean,
does.
it's a lose-lose, but I definitely think most people would have expected to see him at that funeral, and I think that the Red Cross understands if you send a representative in William Shatner's place, given the
PR-wise,
circumstances.
not that it's necessarily the right thing,
Right.
but public
I'm
relations.
just talking exclusively about image at this point.
And you know that, so all right.
Live long and prosper.
He just wants to keep
I
doing
love
this.
the quote, by the way.
do it.
Nailed it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, if I could ever get my
He was
hands
working
to
on
work
that
like
all
that.
weekend.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.